Hey, what's up? Prism Mike here. Thought I would start off with a video on something that I thought was pretty confusing for a long time. Didn't really find good videos or explanations on. Probably did a lot of things kind of wrong from the beginning that set me back a little bit, and that's the equipment. So that's the Elite Equipment facility here. The overview of this is that there are really 8 total items, the equipment items that you can have. You can hover over each of them and you can see what it actually offers, which is things like the first one here is the melee HP, long range HP, and then healing speed. And each one will have 3 benefits for 3 stat boosters for either your like HP, your middle range troops, your long range troops, or even just all troops. And then they have like HP, defense, or attack that it boosts. And then they'll have a 4th stat, which is either like the healing speed. You can see here it's monster XP, and this one's kind of general for everyone with attack boost, HP boost, defense boost. Then there's ones that have increased max wounded units, which is just the total max wounded you could have before you actually start truly losing troops if you're attacked. If you exceed that and your troops die, then they die permanently. You can't resurrect those troops. Things like the building speed, which is more important probably earlier on. Later on it doesn't matter really. The radar, which focuses on monster attack speed, so when you're attacking the actual monsters on the map, but more importantly for people like myself who are long range builds, which I'll talk about at some point, this gives you a nice boost to that. And then there's just, you can see defense, which is the least important of all the stats. And then there. And the way it works is, so each of these equipment items that you can see here, there's 8 of them. Again, they basically go from level 1 to level 6. So 1 through 6. And then they can be basically, let me show you here, either like white or gray color. These are the actual individual items, the equipment pieces that you'll need to build the items, and I'll show you how to do that. But so it basically goes from gray or white to green to blue to purple to orange. So the maximum that you can achieve is what I have here on the radar, which is level 6 and orange. That's as high as you can get. So it really can't be upgraded any further at this point. This is the maximum amount that you can have. The other thing you can see here are these 3 things in the middle, and these are the extension pieces. So the way that you can boost your equipment is by increasing the level of the actual equipment item, the color of it, which again, gray to blue, green, blue, purple, and then like this orange or gold. And then you can also get these extension pieces that you add, and they can also go up to level 6, which again, you can see the max is also level 6 for this, and orange is the maximum for this as well. And they require different pieces, which I can show you guys as well, but to make it less confusing. So what you'll do when you're starting out is you go to develop. You can see all the 8 different equipment items here. You can kind of click on any of them, and then you can go to the first one, and it shows you with each one, you know, what you're getting for benefits, then the cost of them. So there's the cost that's basically you can either buy this or you can mine this slowly. But then let's say you go to develop, not only is there the actual cost with the with these here, and it shows you how to get the actual power ore as well from the mines, or you know, buying at different events and stuff like that. But anyway, so not only do you need that to exceed so this first level is only 5,000, but then you can see the actual items that I showed you from your individual equipment pieces before that you would combine to develop this, and then you hit develop, and you can see here it shows you have a 60% chance of it being purple and a 40% chance of it being gold. So the way to do this, really what I would recommend is when you're building up level 1, 2, and 3, you want to make sure you have a 100% chance at purple. So it actually put a purple item there, so you have a 100% chance. So you know, purple here, and then level 2, if you check level 2, now you actually have to add the previous levels piece, but I'm not going to take that out, but it's basically the piece that I actually have assigned here, which is level 5. You have to remove that and add to this here, and then here and here. And the reason it won't let me add that is because I don't have a level 1 piece. So what I can show you though is for like level 6, so I'd have to take this level 5 one that I've enabled here, and I'd actually confirm to add that, shut it down so it's not in use, and add it to this, and then that's what's necessary. So that'd be for level 1. You don't need it because it's the first level, but then level 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6, you need to have whichever one you have assigned, which for level 1 through 3 really should be purple, and then you'll have all purple items to give yourself a 100% chance at level 1, 2, and 3. Once you get up to 4 and and on, that's when I started to gamble with mixing in the orange or the gold pieces to the equipment. And what that means, so you can see everyone that plays is going to have a deficit or a need for more of these three top ones: the circuit board, the power pump, and the console. So obviously the game is designed intentionally to make it really hard to get those ones, and that's what holds everything up. You can see I have like a billion of these other ones down here that aren't really that important. And so going from level 3 to level 4 is when I'll start to add in some gold pieces to try to actually have a chance to, so like here, you can see I've, if I added the equipment piece, which again I don't have one to add, but if I had one to add, you can see the percentages that you have a chance of, and these on the right are the hard ones to get. So a lot of times I'll leave those as purple, and I'll gamble with gold on the other ones to try to get it. And so usually I got it from 3 to 4, or if I didn't get it then, I would just go from 4 to 5 and do the same gambling technique again. And I oftentimes had to do it several times before I was lucky enough to actually get the pieces I needed. So hopefully that makes sense. And as you can see, for all of them except for the one piece here, which is defense focused, and again, defense is the least important stat, so that's why I just really didn't gamble on this one multiple times to try to get it. But what you would do is, if I was going to try to further develop this one out, I would just re-gamble with gold on the left items, and then leave them purple on the right, and just try multiple times to get this to get the gold 5, because you really want, when you go from 5 to 6, it takes so much that you really want to make sure you have all the gold you need for it, because it's really double. So I can show you here once you get going to that level. You can see you actually now need 2 items of each, and so those right items, which are hard to get up to gold, that takes quite a bit of time or money to get those, and so that's why a lot of times you want to gamble getting up to this level and then really have just everything you need going from 5 to 6. And that's what I did with the radar. Again, it's been over a year and I still only have essentially 1 level 6, which you can't even unlock until I believe level 35 is when you can unlock the level 6 for the item, for the equipment. And then I still have 1 purple, because again, I really haven't bothered wasting the pieces. I'd rather up the other ones that are more valuable from 5 to 6 and save this one, which I don't care about resource output. I don't really need resources at this point other than uranium. And the defense stuff, again, is lower yield than HP and attack for everything. So that's why I really focus on the other things. And then probably the more important thing, though, than even this first initial aspect, which is these equipment pieces going up to gold and up to level 6, is actually these middle pieces. And the reason for that is, if you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, of 6 of the 8 that I have already maxed at 6 gold. And that's because those ones, if you look at what they do, they're actually either increased damage to or reduce damage taken from. And so it reduces the damage taken from melee, mid-range, and long-range, or it increases the damage to melee, melee troops, mid-range, and long-range. The reason the damage is really important is so the way I guess the algorithm, the way it works with calculations for your fighting and your attack is the attack bonus, so like increase attack of all troops, or increase let me see if I can find one here. Increase attack of all troops, or increase attack of the individual ones, like the melee, mid-range, long-range, etc. So the attack is an added skill to your overall damage output, but the damage itself, when you have damage stats, that's multiplicative or a multiplied stat. And so what that really means is, if you have an attack, you add 10% to your attack, it adds 10. But if you add 10 to your damage, it's multiplied by 10. So you can imagine if your base was 100 and you add 10, like from the attack bonus of 10, it's 110. But if you multiply by 10, you're getting 1,000. So it's a huge amount of benefit added if you focus on the damage aspects. And you can see for everybody, when you go into your stats here, if you look, this gives you all your breakdown of all your stats, and you can see things like what probably matters the most, if you're a mid-range build, you want your middle range attack high. If you're a long-range build, you want your long-range attack high. Mine's 845. You want your melee HP to be really high. Those are kind of the two most important things for me. And then there's also, again, all these, let me just move this to right where I'm at, top here. So increase damage to, and these 3 rows, and reduce damage from. Those are the most important stats that you really want to focus on. So I really encourage you to focus on those as much as you can, as quickly as you can, to get those up. A lot of people, even players who play this game for a long time, have really good stats. I see that they just I don't think realize that, and they don't maximize that stat, and it really makes a big difference. So those middle 6 skills that I showed you here, again, right here, here, and here. Those 6, that's where it's at of the 8. You really want to focus on getting those up as much as you can. If you're not spending any money at all, or it's early in the game for you, it makes probably more sense to focus on getting them purple, because you can see here in this Infinite Zombie game, that's where you can actually get in the exchange store. You can get these components here to actually which are necessary. The extension components are what you need to level up those middle extensions. So you can get those, but probably more beneficial and more bang for your buck are here and here, these purple chests, because then you can get pretty quickly up to the purple level for these extensions. So again, gold is the best, but it's hard to get to that, and so purple is perfectly sufficient for a long time while you're building out your game, and it's a good thing you can do to have an advantage early on that doesn't cost money. You just play that, you get that up, and so you can see I have the purple one here still that I haven't upgraded yet, but otherwise you have to be very patient and or spend money to get it to gold. So I think it makes more sense to focus on getting those to purple, and then leveling up those extensions as fast as you can for these middle 6, and then depending on your build, you want to get, again, 1 through 3 to purple, and then start gambling from 4 to 5 to level 6, and then your goal is going to be ultimately what you see here, which is kind of the gold standard, no pun intended, gold or orange color, level 6, and then getting your extensions all up to 6 in gold over time. That's kind of the simplest breakdown of that. Again, you can get a lot of that through just some of the different events, and then you can get good rewards actually from this tower defense post, where you can do this Infinite Zombies game. You can also do the classic, where you go through all the levels and stuff, and you get pretty good benefits from doing that for a while too. So that's kind of one of the first things that I want to show you guys, what I'd recommend doing to get a good start on your builds. And then we'll kind of go through some other stuff. If you guys have questions, you can post them and I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, please like, post, subscribe. I'll keep giving you guys as many good videos as I can with good hacks and efficient ways to up your builds for competitions and fighting against other people. Thanks. Bye.